Do you want to start with introductions?
Cool, I'll start and then you all can follow me. Cool. I'm Srinidhi. I am currently in St. Louis, Missouri, working as a software and electrical engineer at a startup called Avanii LLC. And I also co-founded a women in business and tech group in Texas called Embark Women, where I'm currently the CEO. And we have around 850 women in tech who are ready to help people get more people into tech. So that's my spiel.
Hi, my name is Andrew Kumareddy, but people just call me ARC, my initials, and I'm a senior in Marquette High School. And next year, I'm planning on going to Missouri S&T to pursue mechanical engineering.
I'm Ashish. Like I said, I'm a senior, and I plan to go into aerospace engineering. I'm not sure where that will be. We'll have to see.
Samir?
Yep. Hi, my name is Samir. I am a junior and I am the programming captain on the Luxons robotics team.
Sorry, my dog is working, but my name is Emily. I'm a junior. I don't really know where I want to go yet. We'll figure that out later. But yeah, do you want to start with just like a description of your job?
Cool. So I work in the IoT industry currently. So my responsibilities included. So I have been in the job field for around 4 years. So I started as an electrical engineer in Ingersoll Rand, where I did like a lot of Ruby programming, C++, debugging of VSPD drives and thermostats, and just working with air conditioners and stuff. So I worked there for 7 months before I came to St. Louis as a software engineer. So when I started working as an algorithm developer for using Python language. And for 2 years, I worked on various algorithms, testing them, data collection and figuring out how I can make this data talk. So basically how to visualize the data to give good information to the team members. It's a lot of fun, lot of learning, a lot of crying. It was pretty fun, and it's always nice when you have team members who understand and help you learn, because this was my first software engineering career. I did my master's in electrical engineering, therefore I did a lot of CAD before, and I didn't have enough coding experience, so I kind of learned it on the job. I did my bachelor's in electronics and communications engineering, therefore I had some C++ projects that I had done in my undergrad. Therefore, that helped me in the electrical engineering job. And now for Python, Python is the most user-friendly language. Therefore, it's like pretty easy to pick up once you know all of the flowchart, all of the proper C++. So it's easy to pick up. So currently, so after 2 years of working as a Python developer, now my role is something called a zero gravity thinker. So it's a highly creative role where I give inputs during all the team meetings. So I'm like a floater in all of the teams. We have 4 teams. It's a startup, so we have only 20 people with us. So we have a platform team, we have a firmware team, we have a hardware team, and we have a RTLS team. So I float around talking to people and teams to see how we can improve performances per employee basis and team basis better, and how I can. So as a third party viewer from the outside, I have inputs on maybe some problems that they might be facing that they missed, but for me, it's something new. So asking those naive questions, like the stupid questions to jumpstart the creative process. I am very passionate about brainstorming with people and idea generation. Therefore, that's a skill where I am utilized a lot in. And debugging, merge requests. I look through all the technical documentation to see if it's understandable for other team members. Therefore, if it's understandable cross team, then you're doing a good job. So that's currently my role. I really enjoy this because it's kind of like a technical product manager, but not exactly. So, and the title is pretty cool. Zero Gravity Thinker is a cool title currently. So that's where I am at right now.
Yeah, I have a question.
Mhm.
So, you said you brainstorm a lot and you do all that stuff. So, so how do you say that the process is to learning new things? So you talked about how you're talking to a lot of different people with some technical aspects that you might not understand as much as they do. So, what is the process of just ordering the like not ordering, but like learning these new topics as they come to you?
So I'll give you one example and explain myself. So in case one of my, so I work with this hardware engineer in my company who's from Chinese descent. So therefore we have a lot of, he's the main hardware person. So therefore we have a lot of back and forth. One of the memorable occasions where I worked with him, he had some new prototype that he wanted to show, and he wanted us to go through the circuit diagrams for the prototype, and he had used this new tool that I have no idea what it was, or like I couldn't read his circuit diagram as well as he knew it. So I just started asking questions like, hey, what is the high level goal of this meeting, like what are you trying to accomplish, what do you want us to know before we dive deep into the details? So he gives me kind of an overview on what he wants us to take away from the meeting. So we have the gist now, and we have like the overall understanding. Okay, this is supposed to be for some, maybe a temperature sensor. So okay, let's now we know it's about a temperature sensor, and I am not that knowledgeable about it. So I start asking questions like, oh, what do you think people will look for in a circuit diagram? So therefore, he started pointing out all the connections in between two nodes, and he started pointing out like, oh, there's a back to the circuit board that we have to also look at. So just asking those probing questions helped understand what the topic was. So every new topic that I come across, I usually just ask clarifying questions and probing questions. And also afterwards, I take a lot of notes and do my homework later, like, oh, did I actually understand? And if I have questions, no matter how silly they might seem, there is always the psychological safety that you can ask, no judgment zone. So which helps, grow as an engineer and as a person very fast. So that's kind of what I have been doing. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
Can you talk a bit more about, I think, the organization you said you were CEO of in Texas?
Sure, that's my passion subject. So I came from India to America, and I finished my master's, and I was looking for opportunities for a job. And, I lived in Tyler, Texas, which is around 250 miles away from Dallas. So as a small town with not a lot of engineering people or women in business, it was hard to network and find those contacts and connections and mentors. So once during so there was this group called Tyler Hackathon. So I joined the group as to learn coding and just meet other people in the tech field. And I met this woman who was the mother of the group, but she had no tech background. So she said, "Oh, I'm looking for. I am also looking to network with women." So both of us decided if there is no platform, we might as well create a platform. That's how it started. So Embark Women started in 2017 as just a concept, like, oh, let's see what the interest is. And in the first meeting, when we advertised about Embark Women, 50 people showed up. And all of these 50 women were accomplished women looking to mentor other women. And so the group is inclusive, but it started as a women in tech and women in business group due to the inclusivity and diversity issue that Tyler was facing. And as we saw all these women come, and all of these women batted for me. Basically, they bring these opportunities for me from nowhere, just like, hey, I have the CEO contact. Would you like to talk to him? And then they would just email me their contacts. So seeing how passionate they are in supporting other people entering a new field, especially someone as an immigrant in Tyler, as trying to achieve something, it was very heartwarming and very inspiring. So I thought, okay, let's go full gung-ho on volunteering for this. So after a year, we grew to like 850 women in Tyler, Texas alone. And then slowly we started developing in St. Louis, then Northwest Arkansas. So trying to get more people involved and like just find this networking platform where, you know, all the opportunities that come can be easily connected to whoever is deserving or wanting the opportunity. And now I got made CEO a month ago. I have no idea what CEO does. I've been Googling a lot and trying to figure out, you know, hey, what am I supposed to do, bro? And learning a lot. So how I started with my CEO position is very, very weird story. Me and my dog were, you know, I was taking my dog out for a walk, and I'm very passionate. I'm very extroverted and very social service minded person. So I was like, hey, I was asking my previous CEO, hey, let's do this. I have so many ideas and let's talk about this. And she said, hey, do you want to be a CEO? And I was just like, is that a possibility? I will, of course I will. I mean, I don't know what they do, but I can try. So I jumped at the opportunity because, you know, it's learning in the end. And I obviously, it's still a learning process, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do so many things. You know, there's time management, there is process management, there is how do you get volunteers and how do you retain volunteers, all of the small concepts. And it's very interesting, you know. And if you guys want to join Embark Women, there is open. I am always open to have more people involved. And also I can connect you to like a network of professionals who can give you internships and jobs in future if you're interested in, and mentorship opportunities. So.
Yeah, that sounds really great. So how did you feel getting into like these fields that I guess you just like weren't as familiar with, like this leadership position or just like the programming aspect of your career now?
Oh, cool. Okay. So I would like to say these two words that I learned in my career of 3 years, but which kind of made a lot of sense on how I was feeling during those times. So when I first started programming and I was not good at it, I was struggling because I was just so bogged down by pressure that I have to show that, you know, I have to show myself, I have to prove myself. And I was scared that people would think, oh, I was scared that people would think I'm faking it. And I was just like, oh man, they're going to find out that I actually don't know stuff, even though I was like capable enough. You know, it's called imposter syndrome, and it's very common in engineers of all, you know, all sectors, not only engineers, everybody. So when you go into a room and you're new, and your peers or your team or the group which you have already have more knowledge than you feel like you lack something, and you feel like they're going to find out, you know, oh man, they're going to find out that I don't know anything. So a lot of these fears kind of put a lot of pressure on me. I was always stressed. I was just always studying, you know, I was always trying to gather more knowledge. And then one of my coworkers told me, you know, you're like suffering from a classic case of imposter syndrome. You are fine. It is okay to fail. So every time I would do new projects, I would keep it in mind that it's okay to fail, because failure is how you learn. Failure is how you experience new things. And because of that, you gain more knowledge in that way. So just by doing it, you can improve faster. So it was, and the CEO role, after 3 years of being conditioned to be okay with failure, when the CEO role came, I was just like, might as well, you know, like why miss the opportunity to fail more, basically. Like another thing is iterating fast, fail fast and iterate fast. So if you have an idea, immediately start working on it. Fail at it several times, doesn't matter, because in the end, everything is a process, and everything, even failure is a step towards your goal. So
can I ask a question about your college experience? So how was it learning and going from college into a job environment? And just any advice you have about that?
Okay. So I would say when you guys go to college, make the most use of all the resources the colleges give you. There are like student activities, you know, and campus activities board. So when I was doing my bachelor's, I was in India, therefore there was not a lot of American opportunities for me. And then I came to America, and master's, I just went crazy. You know, I was just like, oh, there are so many clubs I could join. Okay, let me like I just like joined 14, 15 clubs. the 2 years of my master's career, I just networked like crazy. So one of the things I would really encourage is networking. So as they say, like when you have friends who can help you achieve where you want to go, or just like a bunch of cheerleaders on your end, it makes things very easier. And I would say like networking from the beginning is very beneficial. So all of my networking contacts are why, and friends are why I am here currently in St. Louis. They are very how do you say it? Very important for your success. They say, you can achieve alone, you can never achieve. You need your friends, your family. So during college, I networked a lot. And then even after college, I started networking. The first transition was very, very scary because before my master's, I never worked. So after my master's, my first job was the electrical engineering job. And I was in like a place where I was discriminated against, which was weird. I've never been discriminated in my life and in India. And then I came here, and this small town, they kept like, I was a contract engineer, therefore the team would not talk to me. And they would just, whenever I asked a question that I didn't know, they would be like, don't you have a master's? And I was just like, yeah, but what does education have to do with real life experience, bro? And it was very difficult the first 6 months. I studied every day, which I didn't have to, like it's just crap team I had. But in the end, I understood that how every different people take, and how you can go through all of these adversities and just move on to your life. You don't have time to think about people who are pulling you back, and just walk forward. So during masters, I would talk closely with all of my professors. I would always ask questions. I would always ask them for opportunities. And because I used to volunteer a lot, that cemented the fact that I was capable enough to the professors. So when I first started looking for a job, my head of the Department of Electrical Engineering offered me a part-time professor job in the university till I found a full-time job. So I taught electrical circuit theory for 4 months, and then I found my electrical engineering job. So always having good contacts, good connections, just basic, connections would really help you propel your way towards your success. And also, never miss any opportunity that comes in your plate. Just assess it, if you're interested. Even if you're thinking, I don't know anything about it, it's a learning opportunity, I would say. So if you have any projects, hackathons you're interested in, or conferences, webinars, just start applying for them. If you're interested in a topic you want to talk about, apply for speaker positions. Always, all of these help you. And just for yourself, the self-confidence, it helps you become more good in your communication skills, and also it helps you deliver value to your peers also.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I had a question about how you narrowed down which engineering discipline you wanted to major in college.
Mm-hmm. So that if I want to be truthful, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out, what I want to do. So when I started in India, they are like electronics and communications engineering was very interesting to me. I really wanted to know more about wireless communications, and I was very interested in. I really wanted to build stuff, basically. I was just like, oh, I want to. I've seen so many movies where like Iron Man movies where he builds the Iron Man suit, and I was like, how can I be that? I want to be that, and literally just chose like a electronics and communication field, and then started doing projects there. They have labs, and I would do some fun projects there, and then. When I finished my engineering, I just felt lost. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm confused. I don't have a path. What do I do? There is no mentorship. And everyone were expected to get a software engineer position in India. So I was just, at least my college mates. So I was just not interested. And I thought, okay, I want to break from this, and I want to expand my knowledge expand my knowledge in the sense, like change my surroundings. I've never traveled ever, and America was my first solo travel and changed my perspective a lot. So I came to electrical engineering because I thought it might help me be more closer to Ironman. And then before, literally, sorry, I don't have like a inspiring story. I just saw Ironman and I was like, cool. And then I came to this, and then after my first stint as an electrical engineer, I realized maybe, I should try new things. Then I came to software engineer. Now I'm again trying to try new things. So I'm currently looking at technical product manager positions because I am very extroverted and I feel like I have a lot of value by talking to people and leading team projects and, having a high level sight of all the projects that I really enjoy. So after some time, you just try different things and you just figure it out. So I would suggest, just if you are having a break from school and, if you want to have, you have a gap year or something, I would suggest trying new things, new internships or new volunteer opportunities to see what you like. And then you can decide using that. It's no rush. And even if you start a course and if halfway through you're like, I could like do something else, always try it is what I'd say. That's how I chose my career. So
Thank you.
Do you just have any like overall advice for anyone who's interested in getting into engineering?
Okay. So tech is as they say, is a slightly scary field. Everyone, I will tell you, everyone around you will be 100 times smarter than you. You might be the smartest person for your person next to you, but you wouldn't know that. Everyone is like trying to figure out what they want to do. They just want to do something to have fun with and earn money along the way. There is no shame in, having a financial gain as your focus for entering the tech field, or even if you have passion and still make money off of it, always welcome. So I would just say that do not think any opportunity is not within your scope. So, and also I would say that, again, this volunteering in your robotics team, excellent for your growth in the tech field. Anyway, you're doing everything right at this point. You cannot do anything different. You guys are doing everything proper, right? I went through your website, excellent work. I was just like, oh wow, they are like more qualified than me. I am having severe imposter syndrome right now talking to y'all. And I'm just saying this, whatever happens, tech is always growing. Currently, I think cybersecurity is the next tech next thing because of all the how connected we are in the world. So if you guys want to just look at stuff, always do these courses online. There are several free courses online if you want to figure out, if you have some interest, do like a 30-minute course and see if you're like invested in it in order to pursue it. If not, like move on to the next course. That's how I've been doing. I've just been like doing courses after courses. And also support each other, because in a tech world it gets and also improve your communication skills, because one thing about a tech field I have realized is a lot of engineers are extremely analytical and extremely brilliant in the problem solving, but when it comes to people communication, they lack in it because they can't be bothered, because they are doing their perfect work in what they are interested in. Therefore, talking to various kinds of engineers in different levels will really help you like shine in your career. Communication and leadership are currently people are on the lookout for it, because as engineers, not a lot of people are extroverted or have enough communication skills, and therefore we are lacking leaders in the tech field. So people who talk, and even if they don't know technical stuff and they can talk to the engineers properly, are getting promotions and leadership positions very easily. So I would say improve on your communication. Do a lot of courses. If you guys want anything, any help, I am available. I'll share my LinkedIn with you guys, email with you guys, and if you need any assistance for internships or if you want any assistance in, or just want to talk to anybody, I am here to support, and I have a lot of connections, and I am here to introduce you to anybody, in any industry you're interested in. So, and they are more, so currently I am more of a generalist. They call me a tech generalist because I do a lot of shit, but can I say shit? Oops, sorry. But most of my engineers are ML engineers. So they have data engineers, ML engineers, and hardware engineers. So they are more specific to a specialty. And if you guys want contacts there, I have my LinkedIn is open, and I will send my email ID also. So you guys can contact me anytime. I am always here to help. I really enjoy talking to people and connecting people with resources. So
Thank you for this. I'll check this out for sure. I had a question about your CAD experience. So you said that you worked with 3D printing from before college. I mean, from before working even. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Like, what was that like?
Okay, so then I was doing my undergraduate, and wait, no, I'm going too far back. So I came to America, and there was these spaces in America, which I found out 4 years ago, called innovation spaces. So yeah, there are places where the city invests to open it to like maybe someone who wants to start a business but don't have the leg up or the finances, so they can come here and utilize the city resources and make it. So when I started Embark Women, I really got into laser printing and CAD, and and also 3D printing, because I thought it was very cool. So I just went in, since I couldn't afford anything that time, I just went into these innovation spaces and started doing small projects. And they always have these volunteers who help you out to figure out how to use specific machines and stuff. So I would just sit there and I would just be like, hey, I want to laser print Embark Women logo on a piece of wood or metal, and they would sit with me and like help me figure it out. And I would ask about like, oh, how can I make a bust of Black Panther? And they would be like, oh, okay, let's sit together. And there are always all the resources are in the internet. So I would just Google, hey, Black Panther file, and then I got the file, and then I immediately started following the steps to do the Black Panther. It's pretty fun and interesting when you don't have to like pay for it. That's what I would say, like utilize all the resources that you can before you want to like invest in them. It was fun. I really liked it. I learned a lot. I wish I could do it currently, but with the COVID, I haven't left home in a year. So, and there is literally a innovation space right down my street, which I walk across, and I was like, no, I need to live more. So.
Oh, I had a question about your coding experience with Python. Like, I know that Python is kind of new and like it's like growing. Did you enjoy it? Like, is that something like, did you see that like that's a field that
100%
has a lot of potential?
Definitely. So the thing with Python is also it's so user friendly. It's just so basic. You can easily pick it up, but it is also so powerful that you can do a lot of things with it. Currently in our company, we use only Python for our development. So all our algorithms are in Python. All our data collection is done through Python. We use scripts that do particular. It's very powerful. It does a lot of processing under like less time, and also since it's easy to understand, it is very user friendly. So cross team communication is very easy, and Python is a growing language that currently is number 2 in learning. So people are trying to learn Python, Go, and Ruby as the next decade programming language, and Golang. Go is another programming language. These are all powerful tools that you can definitely utilize, and there are so many resources on Python also. So if you guys want to like just study Python, have projects in Python, there are several fun projects like websites where you can just, it's like a, have you guys heard of Dave, the game, the old 20-year-old game, Dave? God damn, I'm old. Okay. So, okay, currently, who can I compare it to? You know the Spider-Man game? So the Spider-Man game, you pass through each level in order to proceed to the next level. There is a Python learning course which similar to that game. So you just finish, okay, I'm going to finish an if statement. Okay, you progress to the next level and the game takes you through the steps. So it makes learning easier also. So yes, yes, for the Python, it is important. It's fun to learn. It's important for the future. But also there are several languages that you can pick up on the way. So but Python is nice to have.
So I have another question regarding that. So would you say, so I'm planning on learning some kind of programming language this summer, just get ready for college. So would you say it's better to start with something like C or C++ or something like that, and then move on to Python? Or would you say that just Python or MATLAB or things around there would be easier to start as?
And Python's easy. So again, it depends on what kind of projects you want to do. So if you want to, I feel like instead of just studying, you can start as a project and then go from there. So you have you start a tiny project. It could be something as basic as like a app for just recording your own book collection or something. So when you start with a small project, I think Python would be nice. But if you have like more interest in a circuit area and more back end, C++ would be excellent to start with too. And what else? I think the easiest, in order to start easy, I think definitely Python is helpful. Okay, and also, oh, sorry, I have like some resources if you guys want, where you can talk to other industry professionals and learn. So they teach Python weekly and it's for free, and you just have to like show up, and it's a volunteer run thing. So if I will share it with Emily, a list of resources, so you guys can have a centralized database where you can just go and, oh, I want to do this, and check that out. Thank you. Sure, I also share like a lot of courses I have done on Python and the fun games that I've played. So
yeah, that would be very helpful. Thank you.
Definitely. Also, I have another one. Please do record your journey when you're starting your Python or any new project. Start recording your journey and writing notes, because the growth that you will see for yourself. Journaling is something I'm just starting to do, but I wish I had done sooner, because currently 2 years ago me and now me, the journey has been like vastly different. I'm a different person, and in my coding skills, so and in like my project sense, in how I have grown as an engineer. So journaling your journey would also build you an audience, because you are not the only one who is going to be going through this journey. There are several people who are hesitant because they are scared that, oh, people are going to think I am doing too much, or like people are going to think I don't know anything. But they are scared to voice it. And when you are like, oh, I'm trying something new, I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to learn about it, that shows that you have a growth mindset and that you're a learner, lifelong learner. And it's also a confident boost for you. Like in a month, when you look back and like, oh man, I couldn't do the if statement there. Now I can do like all these complex data structures. It definitely helps.
I'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
I don't know if anyone else had any questions. I think I asked everything I had. Are we all good? Okay. Thank you so much. This is really helpful, and I think you gave us a lot of really good information.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for all the questions. And anything I can do to support, please do reach out. And I'm in St. Louis, so if you guys want to meet for coffee also and just talk things about all things tech, I'm also willing to learn a lot. So if you guys have like new robotics project that I can follow along in your website, I would be very interested in knowing a lot more about it too.
Did you want to see our robot design from Qualifiers?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll share my. See it? Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
So right here is like the front of our, or actually this is like the outtake of our robot. So that golden ramp was 3D printed, and then we use this green thing called a flywheel, and it basically
Mhm.
just runs really fast and shoots out these orange rings. I
Mhm.
don't have any photos of the rings, but yeah, it's just like an orange foam ring.
Mhm.
And down here you can see our intake, these black flywheels. Uh,
Mhm.
you can't see it great, but there's a black ramp next to them. That's what that black like rectangle is.
Mhm.
Also 3D printed. And so the flywheels spin to kind of like suck the rings up into that ramp. And then it
Okay.
stops right here where the gold ramp is. And then it
Mhm.
kicked out using like a little servo kicker into the
Okay.
green flywheel.
Oh, wow, fascinating. So, what was the topic of this idea?
So we're basically trying to pick up and then like shoot rings into a wall of goals. And you get
Okay.
based on how high of a goal you hit. And then also there are a couple other aspects. I don't know if Samir or Ark wants to explain it. Yeah.
Emily, do you want me to share the video of our robot in action?
Yeah.
I'll
Let me
share that.
sharing.
Oh, I can't share that.
Whoa, you could have multiple people sharing at the same time. I didn't even know that was like a thing.
So in the Google Meets, it's possible, but it's you since you are the host, you have to like transfer your host capabilities to Samir, and he can share it.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think I made it so you can do it, right? Yeah, okay.
Oh, cool. So it's basically pathfinding, or are you remote controlling it? Wait, remote
Okay.
control using pathfinding?
So right here is the autonomous period. So the robot is running all on its own,
Okay.
which lasts around 30 seconds. And what it did is it moved this wobble goal over to target zone B.
Mhm.
And now it's shooting rings into the goal. And at the
Mm.
very end, it parks on the line. And at that time, then the drivers over here, they can pick up their controllers and control the robot while someone throws rings for the robot to suck in.
Mm.
As you'll see the ring just goes in.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah, in the autonomous period, we right now it's just running based on time for the motors, but we plan to change that to pathfinding, like you said, like determining the angle at which the robot is sitting at and how far away it is from the walls.
This is extremely cool, guys. I really like it. Oh, wow. This is good job. Oh, man. How long did it take for you guys to like conceptualize and just like come to a final design, just like trial and error?
Yeah, we had a bunch of brainstorming sessions, right? And then it was I think we had a bunch of ideas. There was one that Ashish brought up where the robot would just stand right where the rings come out. So I think Shushti is feeding the rings out, so you see the rings coming down.
Yeah.
We were planning on making a ramp that would so the robot would just go underneath that whenever whenever the rings were coming out, and so we just automatically collect it. So it was really hard to put it in. So we made like prototypes for that. We ended up scrapping it because it was just too big and we didn't know how to exactly implement it. So that, and then we also did multiple different designs. We did calculations. We had that in the notebook as well that Emily has. And it took Ashish, would it say like 3 months or like 2.5 months ish?
I would definitely say like 2.5. I mean, I would say 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months.
Sure. Because we were told about what everything that we had to do in September, like mid-September, and then all of this was finished by what, like January,
like the week before qualifiers, like the exact week, and we did
so that's like February, yes. So
that's like mid-January is when we finished it technically, and then we added the wobble wheel grabber and all that. So, and we're still adding to it. I think Samir, the programming lead, he's starting to add like color sensing, because in the autonomous period you can have 0 rings, 1 ring, or 3 rings.
Okay.
And it can sense the color. So depending on the amount of color, it will go to a different path, because different paths have different like point totals.
Points. Okay.
Yeah. So we're adding that, and then we're also adding something. We're also looking into adding something that would incorporate a gyroscope, and act like, so the robot would know at every single point in the field where it needs to go. So we can just click a button during the teleop or the driver control period, and it'll automatically go somewhere. So the ramp is fixed, so it would go to the exact spot where we just start shooting instead of actually trying to navigate.
Maneuver it. Oh, cool. Oh man, extremely cool. So when is the finals? Is there a finals?
Oh, we have our state competition coming up. I think it's April like 15th to 20th, somewhere around there, like that week.
Yeah.
Because we're running virtually, our competitions like last over a period of time instead of like one day. But for our like qualifying matches, and that was back in, was it March or February?
March.
Was it February?
Yeah, it was February.
It was late February, I think. Yeah.
Wait, February last year or this year? Okay, this year. Okay, it started in September. Sorry, time.
Yeah. Right now we're working towards our state competition in April.
Oh, well, very excited. Oh, if you guys can like share a video of your state competition, I would be very excited to share it too. Oh man, this looks so cool. If you guys need any help, I have people who can connect you with. But I am very extremely, that's so extremely well done. Very proud. Thank you for sharing this with me, guys. I learned something new. Sorry, that's my dog. Shut up, Riley. Oh, cool. But thank you for sharing with me. Extremely well done. Beautiful execution. I really, kudos.
Thank you very much.
I think if that's it, then I think we're just going to end the meeting now.
Cool.
Thank you for meeting with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for asking all these fantastic questions and sharing your thoughts. I really appreciate it too. I learned a lot.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.